Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to show you my beginner PvP build for the Magicka Sorcerer, also known as MagSorc. As a part of the beginner series, I'll be focusing on a starting rotation and gear that are all easily accessible. This build is best suited for those who are interested in starting their PvP journey. For the sake of this theme and to be as new player friendly as possible, I'll be avoiding mythics, arena weapons, trial, or dungeon gear. The build is both tailored for Battleground, Citadel, and the Imperial City by focusing on stacking recovery. Thus, this build is pretty tanky and is a perfect choice for someone who's new to PvP. Anyways, with that being said, here we go. So starting off in the character sheet, I have 24 points in a Magicka and 40 points in a health. For the Mundus, I'm running the Atronach Mundus for increased Magicka recovery. For the race, I am a Breton, but you can honestly use any race that has either benefits to health, Magicka, or cost reduction. For the food, I think Orzoga's Bear Haunch or the cheaper version Jewels of Misrule is a really solid choice for this build. You could also just run Tri-Stat food as well, which is another viable option. For the potions, we're just going to be using standard Essence of Spell Power. The reason is we don't have access to Major Sorcery through any of our skills or sets, so Major Sorcery is an important buff to have, so I definitely recommend just running something simple. So for CP, we're going to be running Arcane Supremacy, Duelist Rebuff, Enduring Resolve, and Deadly Aim. For the Red Tree, Bastion, Survival Instincts, Pain's Refuge, and Sustained by Suffering. For the gear, we're going to be running something super simple: 5-piece Necropones paired with 5-piece Crafty Elfique, 2-piece Druid Braids, and breaking it down, in the main hand we have a Inferno Staff of Necropones with a flame damage enchant traded in Sharp. On the back bar, a Restoration Staff of Necropones with an Absorb Magicka enchant traded in Defending. You can choose to run Escapist Poisons if you'd like on the back bar. For the 5-piece Crafty Elfique, we have a Crafty Elfique hat with a Max Mag enchant traded in Impen, a Crafty Elfique Epaulets with a Max Mag enchant traded in Impen, Crafty Elfique Sash with a Max Mag enchant traded in Well Fitted, Crafty Elfique Gloves with a Max Mag enchant traded in Well Fitted, and Crafty Elfique Shoes with a Max Mag enchant traded in Impen. For the chest and legs, we have 2 pieces of Druid's Braid, both with Tri-Stat glyphs. The chest is going to be heavy and the legs are going to be medium. Chest is going to be reinforced and legs are going to be impen. For the jewelry, we have 3 pieces of Necropones jewelry, all with Magicka recovery glyphs traded in Arcane. So for skills, we're running Haunting Curse. This is going to be one of those skills that you can recast every 12 seconds. But what it does is after 3.5 seconds, it'll explode and do damage. And then it'll explode again at 8.5 seconds. So this is what you should start the fight off with. Crushing Shock, this is our spammable. This does pretty okay to good damage. When you hit somebody who's casting, it interrupts them, sets off balance, and stunned for 3 seconds. Next up is our Crystal Fragments. This skill hits hard, but it hits even harder when it's procced. So when you cast a skill, you have a 33% chance of causing your next Crystal Fragments to be instant, and it'll glow like pink. And then when you cast it when it's instant, it'll deal 66% more damage and cost 50% less Magicka. Next up, Streak. This is our main tool we're going to use to run or to escape or get behind cover. So the thing about this is it'll bolt you forward and then you'll be able to gain distance instantly, but you can't spam this too much because it starts costing more and more. So just keep that in mind. Twilight Matriarch. This is going to be our heal / our pet so that we can get our Necropones buff, and furthermore we get the passives from the Daedric Summoning Tree. So you can cast this to heal yourself. This is actually a pretty good heal, and on top of that it will heal yourself and 2 friendly targets. So Power Overload, this is going to be our offensive ultimate. So what this does is it basically buffs your heavy and light attacks. So if you have ultimate and you want to play offensively, you can pop Power Overload and then light attack weave between your skills. On the back bar we have Healing Ward. So this was actually a tough choice. I kind of wanted to do Rapid Regeneration, but anyway, so this is a shield basically that heals you, and the shield strength is increased by 100%, by up to 100% depending on the severity of the target's wounds. And then while the shield persists, the target is healed for 33% of the shield's remaining strength every second. So it's actually a good shield / heal to put on when you're getting really low. Next up, Dampen Magic. So this is just a strong shield that you can also stack with your strongest shield. I'll go into that in a second. So this basically just is another shield you can stack. So just cast this if you are anticipating damage or you need to mitigate damage. Boundless Storm. This is our mitigation. As in, this is our access to Major Resolve. It does a little bit of damage, but most importantly, it'll give you the 6,000 resistances for physical and spell. And furthermore, when you activate it, you can get a major expedition for 4 seconds. So not a bad skill at all. Moving on to Hardened Ward, this is our main source of shield. This is actually really strong, and this is what you use to just make sure you can mitigate a lot of your damage. Twilight Matriarch, both bars so that it doesn't disappear. And if you're under a lot of pressure, you can always pop your Resto ult. It is pretty cheap too, and what it does is it automatically casts Regeneration, Blessing of Protection, and Steadfast Ward at no cost. So this is a really strong ult, and it'll let you survive in situations where if you didn't have this, you wouldn't be able to survive. So breaking it down, so offensively, you want to make sure that you always keep up Boundless Storm, because more resistances is better. Make sure you have your pet out. And so if you were playing offensively, just cast Daedric Curse once, and then you see how it'll explode after 3.5, and then the timer's going on for 7. So you can either recast it before that so you can get an earlier explosion, but just try to keep this on your target at all times. And then so when you cast this, just go into Crushing Shock until Crystal Frags procs, which just proc now. And that is it for the rotation. And if you want to do more burst, just make sure you pop Power Overload. And then if you can see the damage I get from just the light attack. And so if you're able to weave Power Overload into your rotation, it'll do significantly more damage. And I think that wraps it up. So closing thoughts, first off, in the clips you'll see that I'm using Vigor. That was unsustainable with the current setup, so that's why I swapped off of it, and I wasn't rounding Boundless Storm either. And I think that wraps it up. As always, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or come join our Discord and ask your questions there. There's also a Discord for PlayStation community members. If you're part of that community, come join our Discord. And once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.